learn how to change improper fractions to mixed numbers. This is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. I like to think of that as it's just kind of top heavy and it needs to fall over into a mixed number. So what I'm going to do is I need to ask myself a couple of questions. First question I'm going to ask is, how many times does 4 go into 22? Well, I know that it's going to go in there 5 times. Well, that's my whole number. Then I ask myself, well, how many are left over? Well, 5 times 4 is 20, so I have 2 left over. That's my numerator. And then my denominator is the same, doesn't change. And then the final question I need to ask myself is 2/4 in simplest form? Well, it's not. So I know that 2/4 is going to simplify into 1/2. So 22 and 22/4 is equal to 5 1/2. If I can't do that in my head, then what I can do is set up a division problem. So I'll say 4, let me get a marker that works. And that was not much better. 4 into 22. All right, 4 goes in there 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, and I have 2 left. So there's my whole number, 5, and I have 2 left over 4. Okay, so I still, even though I wasn't doing it mentally that time, I was actually working it out, I still get the same thing. So 5 2/4. It's kind of like a clock. 5 2/4. Okay? All right, so let's look at the next one. 56 over 11. Again, ask yourself, how many times does 11 go into 56? Happens to go in there 5 times. That's my whole number. 5 times 11 is 55, so I have 1 left over, and my denominator is the same thing. If I've forgotten how to do that, then what I can do is divide the denominator into the numerator, and I'll get 5. 5 times 11 is 55, subtract, so 5 1/11. Okay? On this one, 5 goes into 18. It goes in there 3 times. That's my whole number. And then it has 3 times 5 is 15, so there's 3 left over, and denominator is 5. Again, if you cannot do that mentally, then you're going to set it up where your denominator is the divisor, numerator's under the house. 5 goes into 18 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract, so you have 3 3/5. Okay? So, and then you always need to make sure that each of those fractions are in simplest form, and these two happen to be. All right? So, how many times does 6 go into 37? 6 times. How many left over? 6 times 6 is 36, so 1 left over, and denominator is 6, and 1/6 is in simplest form.